Now, your job as an entrepreneur is to identify your constraint first and start solving it with the highest leverage possible before learning or watching anything else in the course. That's why you are here, okay? If you identify your constraint and you don't try to focus fully on it with the highest leverage possible, which we will talk about today as well, then you are not gonna grow no matter how much more information you consume or no matter what else you do. Right? In the analogy, if our chest is weaker than everything else, before the chest becomes, we deconstrain it, we are not going to be able to lift the weight that we want to lift. And the good news is that once you solve a constraint, there's always another constraint that appears. So your job is to only solve one constraint at a time. And that's how you grow. And that's how people that are way ahead of us, they don't work 50 times harder than us, right? They all are more focused on the number one thing that matters more than anything else. And that focus, that simplicity, that constrained thinking, and that prioritization helps them to solve the right problem, and it makes everything else irrelevant, right? So that's why this is the most important thing that you can do. Now, if you have leverage and focus on the constraint, you will grow faster than if you do not, right? If you solve the biggest constraint, you usually unlock compounding. Compounding or flywheels are the only smart way to scale long term. I'll give an example. Look at Amazon. Why they became a few $1 trillion company. And the reason we are thinking about such a big company is because it will make the point obvious, right? Most of you don't want to build Amazon, I get it. But when you think in absolutes, right, that's gonna make us the closest to understand this point and why this is so powerful. If we look at Amazon, for example, why they became a multi-trillion-dollar company? Let's actually think about it. Because, of course, there's more reasons that comes into this, the timing, the internet, and all of this. But the biggest thing that got them to this big level is because Amazon had a flywheel. So what is a flywheel? A flywheel is when something starts and the input becomes the output, and the output becomes the input as well. So imagine like you are, rolling a snowball, and then it just becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And with the same effort, over time, you get more output, right? And we will define what it is and how we can do that. Don't worry, it's gonna make sense. But that is the number one way to grow. Let's break down Amazon. For Amazon, the way that they unlocked compounding and they unlocked flywheels is because they understood that the faster they make their delivery and the cheaper they make their prices relatively, and the wider selection of products that they have, and the better customer experience that they have, they are gonna attract more customers that want to buy on Amazon. The more customers come on Amazon, the more orders are there. The more orders are there, the more profitable it is for businesses to be on Amazon. So the more businesses came to Amazon. And the more businesses come to Amazon to sell products through Amazon to consumers, the more consumers can come to Amazon because there is a wider selection of products. And the wider selection of products, the more people consume it and order it. And the more they order, then the more revenue Amazon makes, and Amazon can make their delivery faster. And the faster the delivery, the more the customers like it, and they tell their friends, and their friends start ordering. And the cheaper the prices, the more you want to order the next time. So you order more, so the businesses make more money, so they're more incentivized to be on Amazon and to bring more products to Amazon and to compete on Amazon. And so you see the point. And it all compounds and compounds and compounds, right? And that's how biggest businesses grow. But if you have, let's say, a local pizzeria, right? If you just like sell pizza every day, it's not gonna compound unless you open new locations, because no matter what you do, you're not gonna 100x because there is no word of mouth. Even if there is word of mouth, sorry, there's no compounding. Even if your pizza is great and people tell others, well, you can only serve, let's say, 200 people at a time, because of the physical constraints of the location, as an example. Now you can deliver, obviously, but then you're gonna be constrained on how many people can physically work in that location. And then to actually make the pizzas to deliver, right? So all of these examples are just to make the point that the best businesses are growing because they are using compounding and they're using flywheels. And that's the only way to scale long-term sustainably. Because if all of the business only depends on you, in the long term, it's by definition you are going to become older, you are going to have less energy, you are going to have more work to do, you are going to be more distracted, and it's going to be harder to scale. But the more leverage, the more compounding, the more flywheels you have in your business, the easier it's going to be to scale, and the more you can scale, and the more sustainable it will actually be. Okay? Now let's break down some examples of compounding and flywheels, and why we're going to accomplish it and how to do that by focusing on implementing leverage towards your constraint. We will discuss this. It's big words, I know, but it's going to become more simpler. Okay, now let's get into the examples. What are examples of flywheels? Reputation, content, word of mouth, affiliates. I'll give an example for content. The more YouTube videos you make, the more people watch it. The more people watch it, the more excited you get about making videos. The more videos you make. The more you make videos, the better videos you make, the more people find out about you. The more people find out about you, the more of them watch it and the more of them subscribe. So next time when YouTube recommends you a video and you click, you see that the person has more subscribers, you click on subscribe button. The more people subscribe, the more people subscribe. That means the more people subscribe, right? And the more people subscribe, when you post a video, the more people initially see it. If they have their notifications turned on, you get more initial views, you get more initial views, you get more views. You get more views, you get more subscribers, that gives you more initial views. You get more views, you make more money if it's the right kind of views. You can hire better people. You hire better people to help you with your content becomes better. The better your content, the more people see. People start inviting you to interviews and podcasts. The more interviews you go to, the more of them do better. The more of them do better, the more people invite you to other bigger shows. From the bigger shows, people go and check your YouTube, more traffic, you get better, you grow, you have more data. You have more data, you get the point. There are so many flywheels in just in just content. Word of mouth, right? One person tells two, 4, 8, 8 to 12, and then it grows, right? Affiliates. Let's say you bring an affiliate, and now you brought one affiliate one time, and now they are sending you traffic every single day, right? And then the more people come from that affiliate, some of them become affiliates, so they send you traffic. And then the more people come, so it's a flywheel. Reputation. The better your reputation will work with you, the better your reputation gets, the better people want to work with you. Let's think about Warren Buffett, right? His reputation is so strong that he always gets the best deals. And the best deals, the better deals he gets, the more results he generates, the better his reputation gets. Etc. Okay? So these are all examples of flywheels. So imagine how much easier it is to grow when you have flywheels versus when you don't. When you have compounding versus when you don't. Now, a lot of these trainings are available for free with all of the templates, AI tools, private feedback for you to be able to implement in your business. And guess what? It's absolutely free. So if you are interested, the link will be down below in the description and you can apply to join there.